Is the Westinghouse inverter generator better than a Honda? Let's talk about it. Okay, so first let me tell you that this is not an unboxing or, a first use sort of review. I've had this generator for a very long time and I've put it through its paces. So this is a long-term assessment on my behalf. And is it better than a Honda? I don't know. I've never owned the Honda, so let's just get that right out of the way. And in fact, I've never owned any other generator or inverter generator for that matter. So this assessment, review, whatever you want to call it, is based solely on my experience with this generator and this generator only. And it's been a really, really good one. So when I bought this generator in 2016, I think I got it. So I've had this for almost 9 years, probably 9 years now. When I bought it, I didn't really need a generator. I bought it because I had just taken my daughter on her first tent camping trip, and we joined a friend of mine and his 2 kids. They had a pop-up camper. We were camping in a tent, and during that trip, the battery for my buddy's pop-up camper kept dying because they were using it for lights and charging devices and stuff like that. And we found that we had to keep using his truck to recharge the battery on his camper, and then his truck battery died. And we ended up having to jump it with my truck. And so, I don't know, I got home from that trip and I started thinking, this camping thing was fun. It was our first camping trip with my daughter. I hadn't been camping in a long time, and I was like, the next time we do this, we should be more prepared. So I started going online and researching inexpensive generators, and I stumbled upon Westinghouse. And at the time, it was on a lightning deal on Amazon. I think I paid like $329 for it at the time, and it came with a cover and everything. And I was like, wow, this is a really good deal. And, back in the day, before I was born, my grandfather worked for the Westinghouse company in Hyde Park. They had a manufacturing warehouse in Hyde Park, Massachusetts, and which is where I grew up. And my grandfather worked there for many, many years. And I was like, looks like a good deal. Let me buy it. The Honda, the comparable Hondas was selling for $1,000. And I was like, I can get this for $300, $329. So what did I do? I went out and bought it. I didn't really need it, but I bought it. It was a good deal. I used it for a couple camping trips. It worked out well. And then it sat around and it got no use at all for several years. And it wasn't until my daughter went to high school, and then she went to like an agricultural school, and they were running this thing called a haunted hayride, and they needed some generators for this event that they were putting on. They asked if anybody could donate a generator for a weekend, and so I donated it, and they used it, and they probably used it for 20 hours that weekend. Worked out well for them. Their service department serviced it for me, changed the oil and all that, so that was great. And then it sat around again for a while until we started building our log home, and then I really put it through the paces. And let me tell you, this thing can sit around for 6 months at a time, and I'll come out and I'll put the choke on and I'll pull the string, and it'll start on the 3rd or 4th pull every single time. I never treat the gas. I haven't even changed, aside from the time the school changed the oil, I haven't even serviced this thing, but it works flawlessly. It's super quiet. It's got 2,500 watt starting, 2,200 watt running power. So I believe they have an updated model on this now, which is the iGen2500. So I think it's got, which is 2,500 watt running power. So, but I've never run out of power for this. I used it during the construction of our house to power things like a Bosch table saw and a Hitachi chop saw. And I used it to charge all of our DeWalt batteries for all of our power tools during the construction of the home. I've since used it on several power outages. When we get a power outage here, it usually only lasts for an hour, to 3 or 4 hours, depending on, you know, the severity of the outage, I guess. We've had a few since we've moved in here 4 years ago, and if the power outage lasts for more than an hour, I usually pull this out of the basement, and then I just run an extension cord through one of the windows. I leave it out here on the covered porch, and run an extension cord into the house just to power the refrigerator, and if it's cold, we can use it to power our pellet stove to keep the heat going. But again, I've had this thing for 9 years, and it still starts every time. So I have nothing bad to say about it. I think it's going for a little bit more money now. I think you can still get it for under $500 for the 2800 watt version. But like I said, I got it for $329 with a cover. And so I feel like I got a great deal. Great investment for anybody who has a need for something like this, or even if you don't have a major need but still need some, you know, backup generator power for, you know, if you have regular power outages or whatever. It's a great little thing to have handy. So let me turn the camera around. I'm going to start it up, and I'm going to give you an example of what it sounds like, because it's super quiet. So let me do that, and we'll be right back. Okay, so here we are. I'm standing. I've got the camera about a foot from the generator. Right now it's set on efficiency mode, so this is how it runs with no load on it. And then if I had a full load on it, there's a switch to, you know, to put it to full load. But let me back up. I'm only about a foot away from it right now, and that's how loud it is. I'm going to take about 20 steps backwards, and then you'll be able to hear what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 steps backwards. Can barely hear it. So let's go back up. I'm going to go put it on full load, and then we're going to go back to about the same spot. You probably hear that it just powered up a little bit. $16, $17, $18, $19, $20 steps backwards. This is volume, what it would sound like at full power if you had a full load on it. The car that just drove by me behind me on the street behind me was probably louder than the generator is from where I'm standing. So again, great little generator. It started on the third pull, by the way, and it had been in my basement for about 4 months, unused, untreated gas, nothing. All I did was put the choke on, pulled the string, started on the, it was either the third or the fourth pull it started on. So, all right, let me shut that off for a minute. There are a couple of things that have been updated in the newer model that I would like to, I wish were the case for this model, but it's not. So this side cover is where you would service it, check the oil, do an oil change, all that stuff. And it's not a toolless cover. I wish it was, but you have to use a Phillips. You got 2 Phillips head screwdrivers, pop that out, and then you have access to the inside motor. Where you can check the oil and do all the things that you need to do. Actually, can you check the oil through here? No. Okay. So, anyway, so you know, to service it, you have to take this cover off. The newer version of this one has 2 little twisty knobs, so it's toolless, which is nice. That's a nice upgrade. It takes about a gallon of fuel, I think, and on a regular load, like the last power outage we had, I had it running our pellet stove, the television, a light, and the refrigerator. It handled it with no problem at all. Didn't even break. You know, there's a little meter here that you can see. It'll tell you how much power you're using at 25, 50, 75, or 100%. It was probably at about 50% when we were running the pellet stove, television, lights, refrigerator. I don't even think it was under 50%, I'm pretty sure. But and if you're running that kind of a load on it, you'll get about 10 to 12 hours of run time on a tank of fuel on 1 gallon of gas. So it's pretty fuel efficient. But anyways, this is the Westinghouse iGen2500. Again, this is an older model. It's 9 years old. You can get the iGen2800 now, which is very similar to this, I'm assuming. The control panels and everything look the same. So you can get it for under $500. You know, it's half the price of the Honda. So, you know, is it worth spending twice the amount of money for a generator that's going to do the same thing? I don't think so. Westinghouse is a good brand. And this particular generator has been flawless for me. So if you're thinking about an inverter generator and you're thinking get the Honda because it's supposedly the best, think again. At least consider this one, because I think it's a better value. I don't know. That's my review, overview, assessment, whatever you want to call it, of this Westinghouse iGen2500. Well worth the money. If you're looking for one, you should consider it. Thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe. I know you guys are waiting for a tractor update. I'm still dealing with it. I'll get it to you as soon as I figure it out and finalize everything. If you saw my last video, I was pretty bummed out when I bought a brand new tractor and it was damaged. So I'm working it out. It's just taking a little longer than I was hoping, but as soon as it's done and resolved, I will give you guys an update. I promise. Thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe. See you on the next one.